I bet these boring minute and 45-second blood sigil opening credits mean something really cool if you're willing to do a bunch of online research and stuff. Research.
The castle is surrounded by a deep, dry moat.
Thinking that your dry moat is in any way an enticement.
It is well fortified against any future Dornish incursions.
I could have died and come back to life 5 times and still not know or care anything about Dorne, beyond their wine, and that I haven't been using the term Dornish incursion as a metaphor for spring break for the past 10 years. Willem Blackwood doesn't have a bigger part in this episode. Seriously, I'd trade a supercut of him stabbing fools over the long drawn-out conversations to follow regarding who's making babies with whom.
Don't look, princess.
Saying this to the same person you watched viciously stab a boar to death in the previous episode.
We should make landfall inside the hour, princess.
Oh good, fast travel has been enabled. I was worried they might actually expand the world and let us learn more about the characters during their journeys. That would have been terrible.
Take cover!
Daemon's a cheeky asshole, sure, and I might believe he's enough of a cheeky asshole that he wouldn't care about damaging the boat or the people on it. But why is he putting his precious Caraxes at risk by breaking the Dragon Hard Deck rules? I would say that the show gives us one of those full minute of pointless anticipatory walking scenes here, but it does include one person sweeping the stairs. So, excitement? Thinking you're not at risk because it's just the tip.
Once we smash the Triarchy, they name me King of the Narrow Sea.
Roll commercials. This entire scene tries to build tension out of Daemon's arrival, but instead it just becomes 2 minutes of boredom. Is someone nearby sexing up their dad's sister? Because I can't hear anything over the deafening sounds of the anticlimax.
He hasn't yet seen the new tapestries gifted to you by Norvus and Cohor.
Naming your children Norvos or Cohor.
How romantic it must be to get imprisoned in a castle and made to squeeze out to heirs.
I love Princess Rhaenyra's steadfastness in not accepting her gender roles. I'm sure if she ever does decide to have kids, the show will do an excellent job of helping us understand her character's change of heart and development instead of, I don't know, skipping the entire 10 years when it happens.
You've matured yourself these last 4 years, princess. You'll get used to the attention.
This is just the tip of the spear when it comes to how uncomfortable this relationship is ultimately going to make us. I just realized this boring conversation between these two has been going on over a minute now, and I totally forgot I had a skip button. That's on me, lovelies. And by on me, I mean I'm sitting the show for it. Oh, and also... Royal skip!
I don't wish to cause you further distress.
Well, then maybe don't interrupt. They hadn't completed that last riveting section of the discussion on the sea snake yet. Please, let them Show thinks focusing on the candle being held will distract me from realizing we are yet again just watching people walk around. Show is wrong. Thinking you can tell anything from a sniff test when you're in the in the streets stage of civilization. And we're walking again. I swear someone behind the show was like, you know that thing that Sorkin does that people love? The walk and talk? Yeah, let's do that, except never at the same time. So anytime someone's talking, there'll be nothing to engage the eyes visually. And anytime people are walking, there's nothing to engage the brain intellectually. It will rule. Well, on its skull, this looks like an overcandling situation, but it's still incredibly dark in here. So my professional recommendation is going to be for bigger candles. Forgoing any subtlety by using a rat as a visual metaphor, aka departeding.
He called me boy.
The show will use this dragon flame transition so much in this scene that I swear George Lucas called them and was like, fine, I'll stop using wipe transitions in Star Wars. Just cut this out already. Bathed and confused.
You have a far kinder touch than they do.
We're now cutting between an uncle seducing his niece in the Cirque de Hornet district to a decomposing king getting a sponge bath and passionless sex from his young bride. It's like the show is purposely not giving us anything we want to actually see. And call me crazy, but eventually I'm going to want to see something that I want to see.
Our good king names his daughter a girl, his heir.
I honestly didn't think we could get news position in a world before television, but never underestimate the desperation of scriptwriters. I'm impressed even.
4 copper street rat.
Street rat? But would they buy that? You'd think that they'd look closer.
The king has requested your presence.
The hour is quite late.
Yes, your grace.
Royal booty calls. I'd have given all the sins back if this maidservant had just walked in and said, "You up?" Not that I can really show you any of it, but scene in a Game of Thrones show uses nudity to pretend to be interesting cliché. Funkelunking.
Damon?
I know the jig's probably already up, but did you really have to call out his name so people knew without a doubt who you actually are? I guess what I'm saying is, shut your f***ing face, Uncle F***er. Wait, is that the same rat from earlier? That's it. If this isn't proven later to be someone warging into this rat to spy on people, we riot. And now these two are going to copulate as well, because why not? I swear as I'm watching this show, my dog is vigorously humping her dog bed. And truly, there's no better metaphor for this show. In both cases, I just let them finish so we can both move on with our lives. At least I thought they were going to copulate. It's almost 2 minutes later and they're still taking off their clothes. I guess because this relationship is super romantic and will be so meaningful to them both for the rest of this series.
I don't need protection from a common whore.
I'm not casting judgment here, just saying from a public health standpoint, this sounds exactly like a situation in which someone would need protection.
I learned that the skin trade could only take me so far in this life.
Cool. Could you tell HBO?
They were engaged in behaviors unbecoming of a maiden.
After that, Viserys asks Otto to elaborate, and we get...
Damon and Rhaenyra were seen together in the bowels of a pleasure den.
And we all know what this means, but Viserys is playing obtuse and requests more explanation, and ultimately we land on...
Coupling.
That's it. After all the foreplay, we get f***ing coupling, which may be the saddest wordgasm I've ever experienced. Also, using the word bowels in the same sentence as pleasure den.
What happened last night?
What Happened Last Night is a 2016 movie about college students Danny and Sarah who wake up one morning in bed next to each other after a night of hard partying with no recollection of what happened the night before or how they met. Not a single Rotten Tomatoes critic has reviewed it and has a 3.6 rating on IMDb, and I'm so bored by this episode that I swear if it's streaming anywhere, I'm just adding 30 more sins and watching that terrible movie instead of this. And we'll see where it's at. Oh, it's on Vudu with ads. And since I don't do ads, I guess just the one sin and we get to slog through the rest of this episode together. Yay.
You fucked Damon in a pleasure house.
Actually, he said you coupled, which could be anything from light spooning to mani-pedis. So I'm still not sure how anyone knows what you actually did.
I was only a spectator. I didn't do anything.
Mob mentality.
It was foolish of you to place yourself in a position where your virtue could even come into question.
Blaming someone for how others choose to see them. Damon's walk of shame is just a regular old vanilla walk of shame and not the usual ultra-spicy Westeros style walk of shame.
Widow to me.
I hate this family, which I guess is fine because at least I have, well, there was that one, the kid from the beginning of the episode was kind of fun. Is he coming back?
You believe he lied? How does confessing to such things serve him?
Are you serious right now? He literally just told you how. Remember the whole wed her to me thing from like 5 seconds ago?
From my blood come the prince that was promised, and his will be the song of ice and fire.
All of this seems really weighty and cool, until you remember they crowned f***ing Bran.
You are my political headache.
Twitter.
The gods have a dark wit.
Could they pass along some of that wit to the writers of the show? Asking for an audience.
Your interests no longer align with those of the realm. Your judgment has been compromised.
The issue here isn't that King Viserys is wrong. He's not. The issue is that this means we're losing Otto Hightower, who is one of the only interesting characters in the show. This is going to happen a lot, isn't it?
I'm sorry, what is that?
A tea, Princess. It will rid you of any unwanted consequences.
Ruining the spirit of tea time.
That's right! I'm your Uncle Nutsy!
Craven.
Nobody calls me chicken needles. Nobody!
Take cover!
A crown for king.
Here, tell these people something they don't know about me.
Brothers don't shake hands. Brothers gotta hug.
I'm the map, I'm the map, I'm the map, I'm the map, I'm the map!
Stop.
Collaborate and listen.
Tommy, how's it peeping?
I took great care in its preparation.
I'm sorry, what is that?
The Holy Hand Grenade of Antioch.